Welcome back to One Now. This is the first episode of the new year. Happy New Year's, everybody. It is January 2nd, 1:46 in the afternoon, 2025. 2025 is all about the vibes this year. It's 2020 vibes. You know how 2024 was for the plot? Now it is 2020 vibes. Because, vibe. I mean, it could also be 2020 finding a girl, finding a man, finding somebody, I don't know. But 2020 vibes, that's what I'm going for this year. I hope everyone had a great New Year's. I was unfortunately working at the restaurant, and I didn't get home until kind of late, though. It's because my coworker, she asked me if I could take, the last couple tables, because I think she had plans or something after, and she had to drive 40 minutes away to get to her party or something. So I was like, I'm not doing anything tonight. Yeah, sure, I'll take the last couple tables. You can go home early. And I didn't end up getting home until kind of late because, I had a couple tables that came in towards closing time. And you know how it is, in the restaurant, if there's people that come in, towards closing, they're going to stay there late. And then as a server, I got to stay there late with them because, I got to wait for their tip. I gotta wait until they're done, and I gotta clean their table. But yeah, it was just my luck that one of my tables that came in towards closing time, they were like, "Yeah, we haven't seen each other in 9 years. We're gonna sit down, chit chat, catch up, talk about everything that we've missed in each other's lives." And I'm not like, great. I hope you guys have a wonderful time. I'm happy for you guys. But I was so sad. I hate when my tables ask me, I hate when they ask me, "Oh, are we keeping you late? Are we keeping you from going home?" And I have to say no. No rush. You guys can stay here as long as you like. I'm trying to go home, and it's New Year's Eve, I want to go home, celebrate the New Year's at home, not at the restaurant. But I didn't end up getting home until 11:30 at night. I mean, again, I wasn't really doing anything, so it was fine, but it's just the principle, getting home. It's like a holiday. I want to be home early, relax. But I hopped in the shower right away, and I was going in as fast as I could because I didn't want the clock to hit 12 when I was in the shower. I didn't want to miss it. I didn't want it to be 2025, and I'm in the shower bathing myself. You know what I mean? But I ended up getting out at 11:59. So, hey, I made it out. I had 1 minute left to spare. So I went downstairs, hit 1 minute, and then it was Happy New Year, yeah. And I was just eating dinner after that because I wasn't really doing anything. I was just with my fam. But the only thing I had for New Year's, I guess, that night was a beer, because after every single shift at the restaurant, they let you have a free shift drink. So I just got a beer. But those shift drinks sometimes, so I would be working, right, and it's a 7-hour shift. 7 hours of me serving, running around, no food. And sometimes after those shift drinks, I usually get a beer, but sometimes I get a martini, right? And again, 7 hours with no food, me running around, I get a martini, and damn, those things hit me sometimes. But I will never say no. I mean, I don't drink every single time, but it's a free drink, free. That's my favorite flavor. I gotta take advantage of that time and time again. But yeah, that's the only thing I had for New Year's. But I'm kind of glad though, because if I were to have plans and go to a party and drink, I would be waking up hungover on New Year's Day, and that would not have been a good day. Because whenever I drink, I get the worst hangovers. There's one time that I had a hangover, and I probably didn't get out of bed until I don't know, I think 8 p.m. at night. Because I woke up early, but I couldn't get out of bed because I was sick. Not sick, but I was super tired. I was exhausted. I had the slightest urge to throw up, and I just needed to sleep it off, to feel better. But yeah, I didn't get home until 8 p.m. and like even then I still couldn't eat anything, which is sad because one thing about me, I'm gonna eat. But the other day I was eating, right, and I don't know how like big back this is. Like you guys have to tell me like how much of a fatty I am for this. But the other day I was eating dinner, and I was eating like chips and dip, chips and salsa. And I was eating it. It was like crunch, 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 and like I was hearing the crunches in my head, and I was like making beats to the sound of the chips crunching, and I was like, "Damn, this beat is fire!" Like I don't know if anyone else does that. I don't know if that's just me being a big bag, but yeah, I was literally making beats from the crunches of the chips in my head, and I was low key like vibing to it too. Um, yeah, I don't know if that's just me being a big bag, but chips and dip, probably one of my favorite things to eat, like top 10. Like if I pull up to a function and they got chips, I'm set. Like one time, me and my friends went to this Mexican restaurant back in Amherst when we were still in college, and we were there for the burrito tacos. So that was like I was the most excited for. But we went there, we were waiting for the tacos, but while we were waiting, they brought out chips and dip, or chips and salsa, and I was like, this is a Michelin star restaurant. This is 5 out of 5 already, 5 out of 5 experience. Like, damn, that's if I could eat chips and dip, like, for the rest of my life, I probably could. Maybe like not to that extent, but like I could probably have it for a meal, honestly. Which is weird because like, for me, like, there's like this term in Viet, right, and it's called nhang, and I don't know what the English translation is. I think one of my friends call it food fatigue. It's like when you have like when you eat the same thing over and over again, and then at some point, like, because you've eaten it so much, like, it just tastes bad to you. Like you're too used to like the flavor, the texture, and everything. So like you just get like sick of the taste, so you can't eat it anymore. So I get that a lot with the meals. Like I can't eat the same thing over and over again because like I don't know, my taste buds get bored of it, and it just doesn't taste as good. But I could eat chips and dip every day for some reason. I don't know why. There's also this one time I was eating this mango, and you know how like you cut it, you score it, and you push it out and everything. Like this like during the summer, and dude, it was so good that like I was watching something, right? I had to pause the show and take my headphones off and just tap into this mango because it was so good. Like I was fully into the moment from the mango. But yeah, I know a buffet hates to see me coming. Whenever I'm at a buffet, I'm gonna be there for a bit. There's one time that me and my friends went to Cancun, and we had like this all-inclusive trip, all-inclusive resort, and they had buffets, like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I was going ham on those. And they also had this, like, you know how like some resorts have like other restaurants other than like the main buffet that everyone goes to? Like this restaurant or this resort had like the steakhouse. They also had an Italian place, an Asian place. So me and my friends hit up like the Asian restaurant one night, and like they had it more like a buffet style, so you just go up, grab a plate, and then get whatever you want. And they also had like sushi there, and it wasn't just like rolls and stuff. It was also like sashimi and like nigiri, like raw fish. And I don't know how much you would trust sushi, like raw fish, from a Mexican resort. I don't know if that's like the first thing you would think of when you think of sushi. But me, being a big bag, I was like, I'm taking full advantage of this. I'm eating all of this. So I get a big plate of like sushi. It was just a mix of like rolls, sashimi, and everything. And I was eating it, and my friends were looking at me like, I feel like you're gonna get sick off of that. I'm like, hey, fuck it, we ball. I paid for this. I gotta take the most. I gotta make the most of it. But I woke up fine the next day, which is good. Um, but another thing that happened in Cancun, like, it's Cancun, Mexico. Like all the not, yeah, all the speakers. Oh my God, all the workers speak Spanish there. Because that's the primary language there. And there's like a select few staff that speak English. That's who we're mostly speaking to like check in for everything, ask for help. Because it is like a resort, so they know that there's gonna be people from all over the world trying to go there, so they gotta help cater to everybody. But like there are some people that couldn't speak English and primarily Spanish, so like for the buffet we would have to check in, and my friends were trying to get me to speak Spanish, to the staff because like I've taken Spanish for probably, I don't know now. I started in 7th grade, with the whole Buenos dias, ¿cómo te llamas? But I've actually been taking Spanish for a while. So 7th grade, up until high school. So that's what, 6 years? And I also took AP Spanish, and I got a 3. So yeah, I passed. But I would not consider myself fluent. I also took a college Spanish class during my freshman year. But yeah, I would not consider myself fluent because, like, if I were to speak Spanish to a native speaker, like, yeah, I can say what I want to say, right? But I'm just scared that when I speak Spanish to them, like, they're gonna like spit bars at me. Cause you know what I mean? Like, native Spanish speakers speak so fast, so fast. Like they're literally like rapping whenever they speak. So that's why I was scared to speak Spanish at Cancun. Like, we would check in and like you would say how many people you had. So like my friends were trying to get me to say like, "Si tenemos 6 personas" or something. But I didn't want to say that because like I was scared like what if she started speaking more Spanish to me, and like I can't understand it. You know what I mean? There's one time like in our Spanish class in high school, like our teacher made us watch like this telenovela, and it was all in Spanish. It was called El Gran Hotel, the Grand Hotel, and I think it was about like, man, what was this about? It was about like a murder, I think, in this hotel. It was like during like the medieval times, and like they were trying to interrogate everybody. And again, this is all in Spanish. Like audio is Spanish, Spanish actors, Spanish film. So yeah, they're trying to interrogate everybody. And for the class, like the teacher assigned us like an episode every night or something, and we would have to watch it and then come in the next day and do like a little quiz about the episode that we watched. But it was really hard. It was really hard because, like, again, these Spanish speakers speak really fast, too fast for me to comprehend. And like they would only have, so my teacher would give us a link to this website, and the show would only have Spanish audio, Spanish subtitles. But I think one of my friends in that class, they found the exact same show on Netflix, and then they also saw that it had English audio, like English dub and English subtitles. So that was a big W. Our entire class like just started switching over to Netflix and watching that instead, and like that was a miracle, honestly, because we're all struggling so bad. It was great. Yeah, the show was actually I actually liked the show a lot. I didn't finish it because again it was just for like the school assignment. But I didn't mind watching the show at all. It was actually kind of like interesting. Again, this is the Grand Hotel, El Gran Hotel, for anyone watching. But yeah, I love having a good show to watch, especially like when I'm eating. I've heard someone tell me that like if you need to have like a show or something whenever you eat, that's like addiction or like brain rot. But I'm like, I don't understand that though, because like what would you be doing if not watching a show while you eat? Like, are you just gonna be like staring? Like, what are you gonna be staring at when you're eating? Are you just gonna be staring down at your bowl, your plate when you eat? I don't get it. Like, I feel like it's lacking something, when you eat. Because you know how, like, at a restaurant, right? You have someone to talk to while you eat. You have some kind of entertainment, or there's like, yeah, there's entertainment. There's someone playing, what's it called? Instruments in the background or something. And also, like, if you're alone, I guess you can watch people watch. That's a great activity, actually. I actually love people watching because people do the most interesting things. But back to eating. Yeah, what are you gonna be doing if not watching something? You know. I hate when movies have like this second season or second part, but it doesn't come out until like a year or two later. Because then at that point, like, I don't remember anything that happened in the first season, so I gotta go back to the first season and rewatch that entire thing, and then rewatch, or not rewatch, but watch the second season. But I mean, I guess that's kind of smart, because then like they make you go back and rewatch it. But then again, like, how am I supposed to remember what happens if you guys release it 2 years after? Like, what is it? I'm trying to watch Arcane right now. I know I'm kind of late on that, but I heard it was really good. The second season was really good, but I don't remember the first season because it came out a year ago. So I gotta rewatch the first season. The Squid Games came out with the second season. I gotta say though, like, unpopular opinion, I don't think Squid Games is that good. I'm sorry. I don't think Squid Games was that good of a show. Like, I think it was good in the sense that, like, it was a concept that you've never seen before, kind of good. Like, there would be this game, everybody is dying. It has, like, that shock factor. But other than that, like, I don't know. It wasn't really appealing to me. It was just gore, people die. And that, I'm not a really gory person. I'm not a really gory person. If I were to be a doctor, like, again, I probably, like, would be so uncomfortable. I would probably have to leave the room if I saw blood. And you see those videos where people are, like, digging their hands into people's organs and everything. Like, oh, I cannot do that. I wanted to be a doctor when I was little, but then I realized, like, I could not handle that. And also, like, the schooling, nah, I could not do it. I'm doing my 4 years and I'm done. I can't do any more after that. What was I saying? But yeah, I don't know why movies do that, because then I gotta rewatch the whole thing again. But again, like, with eating, like, I sometimes I would listen to music, like, just straight music, no show anything, and just eat. But I would probably only do that if, like, there was a new album coming out, because it's a new album. I gotta, like, listen to it. I've never heard it before, so I want to, like, listen to it real good. But yeah, that's the only time that I would listen to music when I would eat. But I can't just eat. Just eat. I gotta have something. But I'm a big music guy. I have this whole playlist, and with all the songs I like, it's probably like 50 hours long. I forget, 50, 70, something like that. But again, like, I can't listen to the same song over and over again. I hate when the radio does that. Like, they overplay one song and then, like, it just ruins it for me. Like, you guys know 7 Years, I think, by Lucas Graham. It's like, once I was 7 years. Oh, that was terrible. But yeah, that song, like, it was good when it came out, but then the radio just overplayed it hella, and then, like, I just couldn't listen to it anymore. I had to remove it from my playlist. I feel like songs are so hard to memorize nowadays. I don't know, cause, like, before, when I was, like, younger, like, I would listen to a song. I wouldn't even have to like put my full attention to it, and I would still remember the lyrics. But I feel like songs nowadays, like, I can't remember them for my life, except this one song. It's Die With A Smile. Like, that one I could pick up, like, just like that. But any other songs, like, I actually gotta, like, open the lyrics and then like study them to actually remember the lyrics. Maybe that just means I'm not that big of a fan of the song, but I don't know. But I can't I can't pick it up if I'm doing something else. Like if I have music playing in like the background. There's sometimes like where if I'm doing something and I have music in the background, like I'm just focused at the task at hand. Because one thing about me, I can't multitask. So I'm doing my thing and then like I don't even notice what song is going on. It's just mainly like background noise. So yeah, I can't multitask. So if you're ever in a car with me, do not talk to me if I'm driving. I mean, you can talk to me, right? But it's just so hard for me to like drive and then listen and respond at the same time. I don't know why. There's one time where I was driving my friend, right, and we were talking, and I probably missed like 3 exits in one trip because I had the GPS on and it was telling me like when to turn, and like I was talking to my friend, and then at that point like I was trying to think of something to respond. I was trying to remember what they're saying. That like I just forgot like when to turn, so I just missed the exit like 3 times. But hey, I've never crashed before though. I came close one time, but hey, I've never crashed, which is a good thing, I think. I can say that. But yeah, if I get a new car, all I need for the car to have is like Bluetooth or CarPlay or something. You know, that's all I need. I don't know what else I would think of for a car, but that's just all I need. Oh, the GPS system would be really good too. Like if you know like those, you know how those cars have that big tablet screen in the middle where the dashboard is? No, not the dashboard, but like where the radio, heat, and everything is. A big tablet would be nice, you know, having a built-in GPS. But if I were to have a new car, it would have to need Bluetooth or CarPlay. I don't really know what my dream car is though. I'm not really big into cars. I don't know my cars like that either. I would say probably a Tesla or something. You know, electrical. That'd be cool. Save the environment or whatever. But there was one time where I was working at Applebee's and we had to do like to go, and you know how like they have like that car side pickup thing now. So on our screen at Applebee's, it would tell you like if it's a car side pickup, right? It would tell you what kind of like make and model and color of the car is with like the receipt. And me not knowing any kind of car and what any kind of car looks like, I would have to go off the color and then just guess like what odors to bring out. And yeah, that was the worst part of that job because I didn't know anything about the car. But yeah, if I were to have a car, I would only need like Bluetooth. That's it. If I were to get a new car, like go to the dealership, I'm probably getting ripped off, I'll be honest. Like I don't know like what I should be paying for. Like if they're gonna charge me for like, I don't know, blinker fluid, paint insurance, I'm not gonna know anything. So I'm like, yeah, just take my money. But I think at the point where like I'm gonna go to the dealership, I'll probably, you know, study up, do my research before I actually go there so I don't get ripped off. But isn't it crazy that car dealerships rip you off? I think that's so corrupt, no? Especially, I'm glad that I'm a man in the sense of a car dealership, not anything else, but in the sense of a car dealership, because you know how like they would probably try and lie to you more if you're a woman? That's also messed up, no? Like I get it, like the salespeople, like they gotta make commission or something, you know, they're trying to like upsell and everything, but again, you're ripping people off because they don't know anything about the car. That's a crazy business to be in. And that like, imagine being one of those people that call other people and scam them. You know how it's like you always get the call. Now I'm mixing it up, car. You know how the calls you always get, it's like your car extended warranty or whatever. Imagine being one of those people that actually try and scam people. I don't know how good I would be at it. Because I'm not that good of a liar. I feel like I'm a good gaslighter though. I'm not that good of a liar. But there are some really good people out there that can lie. But there's people out here really just scamming people off calls and everything, which is crazy to think about. That's why I never pick up like an unsaved number. If I get a call from an unsaved number, I am not picking it up. I don't know if that like I should be doing that. Like that could be bad because what if like this new place is trying to hire me and they're calling me trying to like set up an interview or whatever, and I don't pick it up because I'm just scared that I don't know this person. I don't want to be scammed. So if you're trying to hire me, you gotta email me. You gotta email me, text me. You got my number. But I don't know if anyone else does that. Like picking up calls from unsaved numbers. I can't do it. I'm only picking up the phone if I have you saved as a contact. So if you want to reach me anywhere else, you know where to find me. You know how people have like caller ID for unsaved numbers? Like, how do you get that? You know, I would love to have the name of like an unknown number, you know, showing up on my phone so I know who it is. Is that something you gotta pay for or something? Oh, I heard that you can also put like someone's number into like Cash App or something to get their name and stuff. I heard that from one of my friends. But that's a crazy way to find out. There's a lot of ways you can find information about people online, which is crazy to me because everything is online now. You know how we just had that huge social security data breach thing? How crazy is that? No? Like this number gives people everything. Like everything about us. The government has it. You know, we would think that like it would be safe, you know, no one has it. And then they just let it be breached. You know, remember that whole scare? And now people like have to lock their credit or something, the credit score, they freeze their credit. And that was so like, what are you doing leaking our social security to everybody? Aren't you supposed to protect us? And now we gotta protect ourselves from scammers trying to steal our information, which is crazy. There was a website that like you can look up if your social security was compromised. Like you would search up like your name and your date of birth or something, or your date of birth. I think it's just date of birth, and it would give you anyone that has that date of birth, because like that website checks. Oh my god, I'm explaining this really bad. So that website, you put in your date of birth, and it gives you everyone else with that same birthday, because that website checked all of the social security numbers that were leaked, and you can get someone's birthday off of that. So that website gives you a whole list of the birthdays, and you can search for your name, and like with your name, it also has like your address, like your residential address, and also has your phone number, which is crazy. Like, I don't know if anything's like super bad happened like after the breach, like because I remember I froze all my credit and everything, but since then I haven't really heard of anything too crazy. Like I haven't heard of someone being millions in debt because of it. But I wonder what happened to it. Also, like I think it was crazy that it wasn't really made known to the public. I feel like not a lot of news places, you know, newspapers, like I feel like there wasn't like a whole announcement or everything saying like, oh, your social security number has been breached. Like you had to kind of find that out on your own, because I found out through TikTok, and I feel like that shouldn't be the place where I find out that my social security number has been compromised. You know what I mean? So what are they really doing? You know, are they really protecting us out there? You gotta stay skeptical. Stay skeptical. I think that's all I got. It's kind of a shorter episode today, but again, Happy New Year's. Happy 2025. I hope this is a great year for you guys. Good intentions this year. I don't really know what my resolution is, but hey, we're gonna keep on going. Get through it. But actually, I think I just thought of it. It's like I think 2024 was a good year. Like, I feel like it was one of the first years that felt normal after COVID. You know what I mean? Like, it was like a relatively normal year. Things happened. I mean, I graduated, so yeah, 2024. That was 2025, but yeah, I hope everyone has a great year. That's all I got for today, and I will see you guys later. Thanks for listening. Peace.